This is Kurt Wilhelm, the co-host of Ageless Living, and
this is Dr. Lee.
we appreciate Dr. Lee and everything that she has done off and on the show. Dr. Lee has medical degrees in China and also the United States, and we appreciate the perspective that she brings on the show. We are going to be joined today in very close relation to our last show. We have Elaine, who is joining us on the show, talking about traumatic stress syndrome, which is one of those not very easily understood syndromes that are coming across from our soldiers when they come back from serving in the services. So it became apparent, Elena, tell us a little bit about the evolution of PTSD. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, this is probably people have had PTSD for many, many decades. They just didn't call it that.
Sure.
And it's very closely connected with traumatic brain injury.
Mm-hmm.
That's also a fairly recent terminology. On the 4th of July of 1995, I was in a serious mountain bike accident. I actually died in the accident, but that's another story, called near-death experience.
Sure.
But in that accident, I sustained a traumatic brain injury and PTSD. But both of those terminologies weren't even part of the medical vocabulary. So the best they could assess it was that I had an extremely serious concussion, and they wished me good luck. They didn't know what else to do for me. I was a competitive long-distance cyclist, and I was mountain biking in Colorado, and my fiancé at the time collided into me, and that was the end of that relationship. But it was the beginning of a wonderful opportunity. Because I'm a neuromuscular specialist in rehab and research, I design and develop treatment protocols, and I presented them at medical conferences and taught individuals. I do consulting in Canada, various parts of the United States, called to put together little mini self-help workshops, teaching people how they can work on themselves, because recovery is an ongoing process. And especially with traumatic brain injury, the neurological system, the nerves regenerate 1/4 of an inch a month, which is why it takes so long.
How do they work on themselves?
Well, basically, I assess their body, and I teach them a recalibration process. It's a special movement pattern that I designed and developed. The inspiration was from my father when I was 5.
So is this considered a type of mind-body treatment?
I think you'd call it that. The way you work with the body and the brain is that structure determines function, and function determines structure. So if you have a certain mental and emotional attitude, that's going to embed in the body and hold tension. And it'll show itself with hiked up shoulders or slunched posture. So if you change and adjust the person's posture and give them exercises to tonify the muscles, condition the muscles, then their attitude definitely is improved.
Interesting.
The other thing I've been working with recently, and I'm in the process of getting certified in, is handwriting therapy. I recently had a mild concussion. What's mild about a traumatic brain injury? It's almost like an oxymoron. But I have been exploring using this handwriting strategy, and it's absolutely amazing, because the eyes are the external access into the brain, and you can reprogram the subconscious for any of your beliefs, your hang-ups, your blockages by working with a deck of cards. It's called Journey handwriting cards. It's in 2 parts. You have 7 calming cards. You think of the emotional attitude imbalance, and you shuffle these 7 cards, and you draw one of the cards. And because there is an energetic connection, you, ironically, but I've done it with many people and myself numerous times, you will draw the card for the energy wave pattern dysfunction, whether it's alpha or beta or alpha-beta combo. And you practice scrolling this for a couple of minutes, and then the other part of the deck is 27 cards, and you shuffle those, still thinking about this emotional attitude. And you can pull yourself immediately out of a PTSD anxiety situation. You can calm yourself down.
This reminds me of the Chinese calligraphy.
Oh, wow.
You know, a lot of people consider that as a type of emotional Tai Chi,
Ah,
or a channel of energy, or a type of meditation.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that, you know, I can see the correlation there.
Amazing.
So you just do about 10 minutes with the second card that you pull. It'll tell you what the emotion is connected to. Like there's a series, you pull 6 cards because there's a progression that you go through. And it tells you how to do cursive. And so the ideal writing therapy is to do part cursive, part printing. But there's a certain way that you write the letters to enhance your mental and emotional well-being. And I've done it, I've taught other people, and so that's how I teach people self-help techniques.
Very interesting.
To become well. Then you regain your self-esteem, your self-control. You're not codependent on anybody else or any other substance.
That's wonderful. It sounds like this is what I love about the show, is that as we look at all the different modalities, Western, Eastern, South American, as we've covered on a few of our recent shows and segments, the thing that's common, the things that are common among all of them that actually work start overlapping, and then you start doing the research and see quantitative research that it actually works.
Yes.
So, looks like we're about to wrap up this segment. Dr. Lee, is there any other tenets that you wanted to bring up before we end the show?
Shall we do a quick natural health remedy today? And this one is going to be simple. For teeth grinding, some
Mhm.
people have TMJ problems.
I had that.
Oh, you should try that. The orange peel,
Mm-hmm.
wash it, clean it, maybe a quarter of a whole tangerine
Mhm.
or orange. I think it's preferably a tangerine,
Mm-hmm.
and just eat it before you go to bed.
Wow. I'll give that a try.
Hopefully do it 1 to 2 weeks, 5 to 10 days, and that should help with your grinding.
Well, thank you very much. I think you saved my future teeth and a lot of dentures.
And let us know your results of trying this out at email tongli.md@gmail.com. That is tongli.md@gmail.com, or visit us on web at azmdlaser.com.
And call for a free consultation when you get there. And again, thanks for tuning in to the Ageless Living Show here on World Talk Radio on Voice America. This is Kurt Wilhelm, your host and co-host, and
This is Dr. Lee. We'll see you next week.
thanks for tuning in. See you next week.